music! Woo! Let's go! Let's get into the special moment of reacting to his story! Let me just get his YouTube channel up. Get into the special moment of Okay. Yes, today we're gonna be reacting to his story. What is up? I love Zard! Oh yeah, and I love Zard. Can you accept my collaborator request actually? Yeah, I love Zard. I have a present for you. Yeah, I have a present. Yeah, I have a present for you. I love Zard. Yeah. Yes, so if I just... Oh my god, Shark Tactics Rise. I'll watch that later. Yeah, so, I love Zard, I love Zard, I love Zard. Can you accept my collab request? Yes, you're gonna be finding it in the video. So if I copy your invitation link. And if I go to my YouTube channel, let me just put this file in the link in the chat for I love Zard. Click this. Click that now. Yes. Okay. Cool. Okay, so today we're gonna be reacting to his story. So yeah, why don't we get in? For win free iPhone 17. Really? Well, I subscribed ages ago. Yep, and I didn't get my phone. Let's do your most popular videos. He tapped back. Oh wait, it's muted.
We were 9 when we learned Morse code. We tapped messages under the dinner table when Mom told us to stop talking and tapped through the wall between our bedrooms every night. When Chris got into a car accident and the doctor said he'd never wake up, I pulled up a chair next to his bed, took his hand, and tapped. Are you there? Nothing. But I came back the next afternoon and tapped again. Before I left, I always said the same thing. See you tomorrow, Chris. A week later, Chris's fingers twitched
Oh wait, it's a permit.
Against mine, and I almost fell out of my chair. I grabbed a nurse and she barely looked up. They're reflexes. It doesn't mean anything. I bought a notebook the next day and started writing down every single one. 4 months in, Mom watched me scribbling and said, how long are you gonna keep doing this? Until he taps back. He's not gonna tap back. You're talking to a corpse. Dad lasted a few more months before he pulled me into the hallway. We need to talk about donating your brother's organs. His fingers move every time I hold his hand, Dad. The nurses said those are reflexes. Stop getting your hopes up, son. I don't care what the nurses say. You're not donating my brother's organs. But a week later, my parents called to have Chris transferred to a long-term facility to die. We scheduled a meeting to sign the papers. The afternoon before the meeting, I tapped into his palm like always, but this time, something tapped back. Short, short, short. Long, long, long. Short, short, short. SOS. I grabbed his hand. Chris, if that's you, squeeze once. He squeezed so hard my knuckles cracked. I stormed into the meeting room and told them my brother just responded to me. The caseworker said, this is very common with families who aren't ready to let go. My parents nodded. I grabbed the transfer papers off the table. You're not signing anything until you come see for yourself. I walked them to Chris's bed and grabbed his hand. Ask him anything. The caseworker asked what year it was. Chris squeezed out the answer. Count to 5. 5 perfect squeezes. His mother's name, tapped out letter by letter. Crazy. By the 10th question, she said, he's still alive. We can't move him.
Nah, that's crazy. Nah. Imagine just realizing what happened to him. Hello? I'm all sprung on my mic. So imagine realizing what happened with it. Oh my god, my mic sucks, bro. Yo, my mic actually sucks. Yo, my mic actually sucks, bro. My mic sucks. Oh, better now. Okay. So, yes, imagine like having a child like this. In this state, bro. Yo, I would feel bad, bro. Nah, I would feel freaking bad. And why is there a premiere on my main channel? Yo. Yo, why? Oh yeah, I said a premiere. Oh yeah, I have two things going live at the same time. Yes, Tadak Animations. I don't know why the collapse didn't go through yet. I think I'll have to. I'm gonna fix the collapse, bro. Anyways, let's carry on.
My daughter came
That's
home crying
crazy.
with an F because her teacher doesn't know what color blood is. The first
What? A teacher doesn't know what color blood is? Then why is she a freaking teacher?
time I realized something was wrong, Riley came home from school holding out her arm. Look, Dad, you can see the blue blood in my veins right here. She traced the blue lines under her skin with her finger. I put down my coffee and looked at her. Actually, sweetheart, that's not true. Blood is always red because of hemoglobin.
I know.
It's just darker red in your veins. Her face scrunched up. But Mrs. Miller showed us a whole PowerPoint about it. She even had diagrams from a science book. The next morning, I packed my work scrubs in my bag. I'm an ER nurse at Mercy General, and I was working the afternoon
See, he should be the teacher.
shift anyway. I sent Mrs. Miller an email asking if I could do a quick presentation about blood for career day that afternoon. She loved the idea. When I arrived, Mrs. Miller introduced me as Riley's dad who works at the hospital. 28 kids stared up at me from their desks. I heard you guys learned that blood
guy's
is blue inside
small.
your body, I said. The entire class nodded enthusiastically. Mrs. Miller beamed from her desk in the corner. I pulled out a blood collection tube from my pocket and held it up. This is what we use to draw blood at the hospital. Notice something. The tube creates a vacuum.
Oh my god, I love that. I actually didn't delete your message. Frank. Sorry about that. I love that.
No oxygen inside at all. I paused. When we draw blood with these, it never touches oxygen until we
See?
pull the cap off. I showed them photos on my phone of sealed blood tubes. See? Still red. Mrs. Miller's smile started fading. She shifted in her chair and cleared her throat. A boy raised his hand and pointed to their science textbook. But our textbook says it's blue. I picked up the book and checked the publication date. 1990.
Yeah, maybe because times change, you know, and she was like looking from the wrong lesson plan or something.
98. Medicine updates pretty fast. We used to think lots of things that turned out to be wrong. Mrs. Miller suddenly stood up from her desk,
Gangle?
her hands gripping the edge. Well, thank you for that interesting presentation, Mr. Johnson, but we need to move on to math now. I nodded and started packing when a girl in the back raised her hand. So our textbook is wrong? The class erupted in whispers.
Yeah, it is.
Mrs. Miller's jaw clenched and her voice got tight. The curriculum says, actually, I interrupted, pulling up the state science standards on my phone. I walked over and turned my phone to her. The current curriculum specifically mentions this myth as something to correct. She stared at the screen and her eyes narrowed. Her mouth pressed into a thin line and her nostrils flared. Can I speak
She looks ugly, by the way.
with you in the hallway? The kids watched as we
Check your
walked out
mentions.
and
I'll
the door
check it.
closed behind us. Do you have any idea how hard it is when parents undermine my authority? Her face was red and her voice was sharp. Now they'll question everything I say. I kept my voice calm. Isn't that exactly what we want them to do? Question things and learn critical thinking? She crossed her
Exactly,
arms tightly.
that's the whole
I've been
point of
teaching
school,
for
no?
22 years. I'm not changing my whole curriculum because some nurse thinks he knows better than our textbooks. The next day,
Well, but that's real life. Then why are you a teacher? Get it.
I found out Mrs. Miller gave the class a pop quiz. Riley came home crying, her face red and puffy. Her hands were shaking as she handed me a paper with a big red F on it. I took a deep breath and felt my jaw tighten as I looked at the question. What color is blood inside the body? Riley had
This teacher needs to get her brain checked.
written red, and Mrs. Miller had marked it wrong. I requested a meeting with Principal Davis and brought printouts of medical textbooks. The state
Oh, it's either PG. Rate that 18 plus. Get out.
science standards and Riley's quiz. The principal
PG.
called in Mrs.
Interesting.
Miller and asked her directly, is blood blue inside the body? After a long pause, Mrs. Miller said, it's what the children understand better. I leaned forward in my chair. My daughter is crying every morning before school because she's afraid of getting Fs for writing down the truth. The next day, the school replaced their science books.
Yes.
And whenever Riley learns something new at school, she comes home and asks me, Dad, is this actually true or is it just a Mrs. Miller truth? My daughter came home crying with an F because her teacher got
Bro, why didn't you just fire the teacher, bro? The Fantastic Amy's at 12A. Oh yeah, because probably there's gonna be emotional stuff in it or something.
doesn't know what color blood is.
Okay, next video. Future ready technology rates. Good video. Get out. Okay, next video. That's not Captain Hopkins by his story.
Flight attendant slipped me a napkin that said, "The pilot isn't who he says he is. Meet me in the back to talk." I knew she chose to tell me because of the military dog tags around my neck. I folded the napkin and slid it into my pocket, and that's when the captain's voice came over the intercom. "Good morning, folks. This is Captain Hopkins, expecting smooth
Are you sure that's Captain Hopkins?
skies to Chicago, but something was wrong. I could feel it in my bones. I waited 2 minutes and casually walked to the back, not knowing what to expect. The flight attendant was there with a man holding up a police badge. The man whispered, "I'm glad you're here. I'm an undercover cop." I knew something was wrong straight away. The flight attendant whispered,
See,
"I've flown with Captain Hopkins for 6 years. I don't exactly
That Hopkins guy needs to get arrested.
know what's wrong, but I know that's not Hopkins, and
That's
we're
not
flying the
Hopkins.
wrong way." She showed me the flight map of where we were heading. The plane is heading toward an abandoned airport. I leaned over the map. My body was pumping with adrenaline because it was the perfect place to crash a plane. There's an empty space above the pilot's room. I can climb up and listen to what the pilot and co-pilot are planning through the ceiling. "Take my number. If you can tell there's something fishy going on, text me one word, now." That's the signal to move. And to distract everyone while I climbed above the ceiling, the flight attendant made an announcement on the speakers to tell everyone to keep their seatbelts on. Through the cracks, I could hear 2 men in the pilot's room talking. 15 years ago today, our brother died because of Captain Hopkins.
Oh, they're getting revenge! Holy plot twist, bruh!
Now we get to crash his plane with him tied up
Yo!
and impersonate him. I texted the undercover cop. Now, the cart slammed into the pilot's room door.
Sorry, I kind of freaking forgot my password. Oh, okay, it's fine.
And the cop kicked it open. I dropped through the ceiling and tackled the fake pilot out of his
Good
seat.
boy!
Pinned the co-pilot to the floor. The
Okay,
flight
yeah,
attendant
what?
grabbed the radio. "Mayday, our pilot is gone. We need help landing right now." She looked at me. "Find Hopkins, the actual pilot. He has to be on this plane somewhere." I sprinted to the back of the plane, checking every door. I yanked open the closet next to the bathrooms, and Captain Hopkins was inside with his hands tied and tape across his mouth. I ripped the tape off. "Get me to the controls." He ran to the front and dropped into the pilot's chair. He grabbed the wheel. "Tower, this is the real Captain Hopkins. I'm landing this plane." When we finally landed, the cops dragged the brothers off in handcuffs.
There
The
we
flight
go.
attendant came up to me in the aisle. I pulled the napkin out of my pocket and held it up. "You saved 200 lives with this." She smiled and took it back. The flight attendant slipped me a napkin that said, "The pilot isn't who he says he is. Meet me."
No, that's crazy plot twist, bro.
Every time we heard a knock on the front door, my dad would yell, "Stealth mode," and we had 30 seconds to kill every light in the house. My brother
Oh my god.
and I would race
I remember one day, maybe it was the first day of my life, you come to my heart, my eyes open like, oh wait, it's the crappy kissy song. I remember one day, maybe it was the first day of my life, you came to my eyes open, warm.
through the rooms, flipping switches, yanking cords, shutting off the TV mid-show, while
What's
some
wrong?
guy outside banged on the front door yelling, "I know you're in there, buddy." Dad timed us. Once everything was dark, no talking, no moving, no looking out the windows. We'd sit there until Dad did his owl hoot, which meant all clear. Sometimes 5 minutes, sometimes almost an hour. Afterwards, he'd high-five us and go, "Real ninjas couldn't do better." He told us stealth mode was top secret. Never tell your teachers, your friends, nobody. Other people
What
wouldn't
is this,
understand.
bro?
For years, I believed him. When
What
I was
is
8,
TS?
I asked Dad why we had to hide so much. He said some annoying guy kept bothering our family, and stealth mode was how we dealt with him. I felt proud we had a secret skill that could outsmart
What
bad
the
guys.
TS?
By the time I was 10, I heard the voice outside yell something about a bet and $20. I tugged Dad's sleeve and
You gotta give the guy money, bro.
whispered, "Is the bad guy trying to steal our money?" Dad shushed me so hard I flinched. When I was 12, I broke the window rule, peeked through the blinds, and saw a completely normal guy in a polo shirt standing on the porch rubbing his forehead. He didn't look like a criminal. He looked like someone's tired uncle. At 13, I told Dad I was just going to open the door and tell the guy to leave us alone. The color left his face. "You absolutely cannot do that." That was the first
No, seriously, tomorrow, what is wrong with the weather? In which country? What do you mean? The UK weather is fine, bro. The
the flight
UK.
attendant slipped. Every time
Freak, I have to start the video again. I'm so.
Dad shushed me so hard I flinched. When I was 12, I broke the window rule, peeked through the blinds, and saw a completely
2 minutes
cannot do
long.
that. That
2 minutes long, by the way. The weather. Yeah, what's wrong with the weather? Yeah, see? Okay. Oh, there's rain starting in 12 minutes. Oh, well, I'm going outside. It's too hot. See, there's nothing wrong in Philippines weather, bro. See, there's no... Well, hope you feel safe. I mean, hope you're safe, but... Dang.
That was the first time stealth mode didn't feel like a game. By 15 or 16, it barely happened anymore. But when it did, Dad would peek through the blinds, looking guilty. Mom just shook her head from the couch and muttered something under her breath. I was 17 and home alone when I heard it. I know you're in there. It's been 12 years, man. I opened the front door. The guy nearly fell backwards. Normal-looking dude, middle-aged, holding a crumpled piece of paper. Oh, hi. Is your dad home? I'm his old college roommate. He held up the paper. Your old man bet me $20 Michael Jordan wouldn't win his 6th ring. That was 1998. I've been knocking on his door ever since. He handed me the IOU, both their signatures, right there at the bottom. I left it on the kitchen table. Mom saw it first and laughed so hard she had to hold the counter. Dad picked it up, read it, put it back down, and the first thing out of his mouth was, "So now he knows someone's home." Then he turned off the kitchen light and got under the table. We were never in danger. My dad just lost a bet because of the greatest of all time.
You don't need to do all of that! You give her the 20 back! Oh my god, bruh!
Dad measured me for the 5th time that day and screamed, "Why are you
Some dads are just brain dead.
still 5'10"? I stared down at my 5'3" dad.
I don't know, maybe because it's called human growth. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe you should use my brain.
And he glared. Stop looking down at me.
I did some rants. Yeah, I saw 8 videos when I refreshed. I was looking at your channel, see if there's anything I can watch, because your rants are funny. When I refreshed, 8 freaking videos popped up, and it was like, yo, how is she able to upload 8 videos? Can I have a rant?
No son of mine will ever look down on me. We're going to fix this before it's
we're gonna
too
fix
late.
this.
And so the next
I'm gonna host a competition tomorrow. You'll see details.
day, Dad came into my room with x-rays of my legs marked with red X's saying, "I found a surgeon who will remove these bones so that you can finally be shorter than me." I already
Bro, you don't tell you that. Frick this.
When I saw Kimberly
Don't go in there.
walking out of the boys' bathroom, I asked, "What were you doing in there?" She instantly froze. I wasn't. I just accidentally went through the wrong door. But I knew that wasn't the truth. I was about to open it when she grabbed my arm. "No, don't. You can't go in there." And before I could even ask her why, I heard someone crying. What was that? I don't know. Maybe it's best if we don't go in there. But I pushed the door open as she said. Someone whispered, "Is someone there? Please help me." I pushed open the stall door and saw Leslie Reddick sitting on the floor holding a bunch of towels. I gasped, realizing she was pregnant and her water broke. "Please, help me." Her dad was our gym teacher, and I knew if he found out his daughter was giving birth at school, things would get messy. Just then, Kimberly burst through the door with the school nurse, and as soon as she looked at Leslie, she gasped, "Please, just don't let my dad see me." The nurse turned to me. "You, go keep watch outside. Make sure nobody comes in here and sees her." "What? We need to get her to a hospital." "There's no time, just go."
You need to get her in the hospital. Listen to the kid,
A group
bro.
of guys walked up to me,
You need to listen to the kid, bro. Otherwise, that baby ain't surviving.
all holding vapes. They tried to walk into the bathroom, but I stopped them. "No, you can't go vape in there." They looked confused. "What? Why?" But before I could make up some excuse,
They're allergic to vaping.
we all heard it. A scream from inside the bathroom. I thought, oh no, the baby must be coming. They said, "Whoa, what's happening in there?" "Nothing, I swear. Just go use the bathroom upstairs." But then more people started crowding around. "Who's screaming? I have to pee so bad." This
See, that's why, bro, some teachers need to use their brain in these situations. Aren't they supposed to train for these situations if they magically happen?
was bad, but then I saw him. Mr. Reddick was coming down the hallway. He walked up to the crowd with this
he's
confused
good.
look on his face and asked, "Has anyone seen my daughter?" Oh no, I had to make up a lie fast, but before I could say anything, we all heard Leslie. "Oh my god, ah!" One of the girls said. "Hey, that kind of
Wait, there is a use. Yeah, I'm gonna react to that a lot. So
sounds like her in there." Mr. Reddick realized it was her and shoved past me. Oh no, we heard him yell, "What is this?" But they still had no idea idea what was happening until we heard Mr. Reddick yell, "Who's the father? Is it Felix? I swear I'll kill him." Everyone gasped and looked at Felix. He had been dating Leslie for 9 months, and it all added up. He was sweating and started backing up. But then the door burst open, and we saw Mr. Reddick standing there. You could see the veins in his forehead. We heard the nurse yelling, "Come on, push!" Then we heard crying from inside the bathroom. Mr. Reddick yelled, "You got her pregnant!" But Felix panicked and turned, running down the hallway. Mr. Reddick took off after him like a track star. He caught up and tackled him to the ground, just as we saw Leslie come out of the bathroom holding something. "Dad, no!" Mr. Reddick pinned him to the ground and instantly started swinging, completely destroying Felix's face.
Holy plot twist, but isn't that illegal? He can get arrested, bro.
Everyone panicked and pulled him off, and by the time they held
My sis made accounts, Puggy Animators. Show me the username, I want to look at it.
him back, Leslie was crying. She yelled, "Dad, it's not his!" And when she said that, everyone went silent.
Oh, he's cooked!
Mr. Reddick stopped struggling, and even Felix looked up from the ground. Everyone's eyes went to the baby, and that's when we all saw it. Because even though Felix's face was beaten and purple, he was white. And when we saw the baby, it was definitely black. When I saw Kim...
Yo.
A man
Okay, he picked the wrong bus.
climbed onto our school bus with a knife, and the first thing he heard was a slow clap from the back row. Confused, he screamed at our driver,
The guy with the red shirt is... Yeah, I know.
Mrs. Worley, to keep driving and not stop for anyone. A kid leaned forward. "Nice ski mask. Did you cut the holes out yourself, or did your mommy help you?" The whole bus laughed. He waved the knife.
Oh, sick Rose, but you should have said that. Ooh. Ooh, you should have said that. Ooh, that's terrible. Ooh. Oh, no, you should have said, oh, you're cooked.
Round. Shut up and no one gets hurt. Your hand is shaking so hard I can't tell if that's a threat or a
Oh, he's cooking. Oh, such an amazing round.
dance move. He stepped toward the kid who said it, and 20 voices started talking at once. "Oh, he's walking now." Everybody
Oh my god, this guy. Imagine saying this in Britain. You're cooked.
around trying to find who said what, but insults were coming from every direction. Bro seriously hijacked a bus with no plan, no getaway car, and a Walmart knife. This is the saddest crime I've ever seen.
Fair enough. It looks like a Walmart knife, to be honest. Like, who even tries to hijack? Yo.
We wouldn't let him finish a single sentence. "Are you robbing us for money? All I have is an EBT card and a bus pass." He pointed his knife at Mrs. Worley, and the whole bus went silent. A kid stood up. "You can threaten us all you want, but if you point that thing at Mrs. Worley again, we're gonna have a real different conversation."
Oh,
He
he's
laughed
cooked.
nervously and asked what a bunch of kids were going to do about it. A girl said, "We're on the bus to the school for troubled teens. Half of us are here for assault, and the other half won't say why." Mrs. Worley looked at him over her shoulder. "Honey, I've watched these kids make grown men cry over smaller things than pointing a knife."
Oh, he's good, bro. Maybe you should have checked the sign. You should have checked. You should have like double checked before going into the. Oh, you're cooked.
Knife at me. He lowered the knife. "Smart choice. She brings us donuts on Fridays. We protect what matters." His face twisted, and he shoved toward the kid with the knife raised. Mrs.
cooked.
Worley pulled over, stood up, and stepped between them. "That's enough now." He grabbed her arm and shoved her into the dashboard. For half a second, the bus was completely silent.
Cooked. Can I be in episode 4, season 2 to that? I'm already quite full with old characters, but I don't know. I'll think about it.
Then a kid came over the seats like some...
It was already difficult with Blaze, and because I need contact. I need to like talk to you, like Discord or something, because it's gonna be difficult.
something feral, and 3 others were right behind him. The guy didn't have time to turn around before
Holy cheek.
someone hit him in the back of the knees and he went down. The knife skittered under the seats, and kids were on top of him before he could reach for it. Someone had him in a headlock while someone else pinned his arms. A girl sat on his legs and went through his pockets just to add insult to injury.
Oh, he's getting
The
robbed!
emergency button. "I need police at my location. Tell them there's no rush. The situation is handled." The guy was crying. "Please get off me. I can't breathe." A kid leaned close to his face. "You should have thought about that before you touched Mrs. Worley." When the cops showed up, they found him tied to a seat with shoelaces and snot running down his face. A man climbed onto our...
Okay, let's see the comments on this. Getting bullied and robbed by kids while saying threats to them is wild. Exactly. It's all S and Gil until this group really a fact. cooked. When a mafia does, you owe them 4 cents. Cooked. The fact that everyone on the bus was 1 foot kid until the red hair guy come in. Yeah, And 20 kids dog talking over at once. Proceeds to show 5 kids. Get out. Okay. Next up, I labeled it fish.
Teacher looked at my drawing, covered her mouth, and ran out of the room screaming. Our assignment was to draw something that makes us happy, so I drew me and my dad fishing at the lake.
What's wrong with fishing, to be honest? To be honest, my friend goes fishing, and there's nothing wrong with that. Fishing yummy, fishing yummy.
Thing we do every Saturday.
Yeah.
I picked up my paper to see what she saw. 2 stick figures, a fishing rod,
Yeah,
a
what's
lake,
wrong with
a
that?
building that said Larry's Bait and Tackle, and a fish that I
Bait and tackle. Pew, pew, pew.
even labeled fish in case there was any confusion.
We should also react to J Gaming Studio. Meh! Okay, sure I will. Right, okay. Okay, so I'm actually gonna have to eat lunch. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna watch this video, check my mentions, check everything, and then I'll see you on Twitch. If not, see you tonight for this track. Meh.
I had no idea what I did wrong. She came back with 2 security guards, still
Sigma
screaming,
guards.
grabbed the drawing off my desk, and pointed at me like I was dangerous. They walked me out without saying a word and sat me down in Principal Carter's
What's wrong with fishing?
office. He had my drawing under a desk lamp like he was examining a ransom note. He looked up, explained this. I told him it's me and my dad fishing at the lake. He pointed at my stick figure's hand. You're telling me this is a fishing rod when I'm looking at a weapon. I told him there's a line coming off it with a fish on the end.
All of that just, oh my god.
And I literally wrote the word fish next
See, I told you teachers sometimes I bring it.
to it. Mrs. Keller leaned in. It looks like he's aiming at the building. I told her it's Larry's Bait and Tackle where we buy worms, and he's facing the water because that's where fish live and that's how fishing works. I didn't understand how every adult in the room was looking at a fish and seeing a threat. Principal Carter picked up his phone and called my dad. Mr. Davis, your son drew an image that appears to depict a school shooting. We need you here immediately. I sat there staring at my drawing, wondering how I ended up here. My dad showed up still in his work shirt with dirt on his hands and stopped in the doorway. Where is he? What did he draw? Principal Carter slid the drawing across the desk and my dad picked it up, stared at it, and laughed. Not a chuckle, a full laugh. This is from last Saturday. He pulled out his phone, turned it around, and the photo was right there. Me standing in front of Larry's Bait and Tackle holding my fishing rod. Same building, same rod, same everything. He looked at the principal. Is everyone in this room slow? My son drew a fish, labeled it fish, drew a fishing rod, drew a bait shop, and you looked at
Exactly, some teachers are just brain dead.
that and saw a school shooting. Nobody said anything. You pulled my son out of class and called me at work because not one adult in this building stopped and said, hey, maybe that's a fishing rod. Mrs. Keller stared at the floor and Principal Carter had nothing. My dad put the drawing in his pocket. We're done here. Let's go. Next art class, I drew Mrs. Keller and labeled it Donkey in case there was any confusion. My teacher looked at my drawing, covered her mouth, and ran out of the room
Scream cycle loving.
Indeed, get out. Okay. So let me check my mentions. Let me check my mentions. Wait, there was the premiere. I've just sort out the collaborations. Right, I'm in the wrong area. Yeah, okay, mentions. Okay. Okay, this is what Okay, let's view this first post. Do you want this user to exist? Let's see. Okay, here's the poster of the Fantastic Amy. I don't know if I might create this movie, but see, Puggy Studios, Amy's Nightmare, bro. 17 December. That's a year ago. I'll probably forget about that. Get out. Okay, next up. Now Tina across Roblox's nose. 2 years, maybe we can put it in like recent, like in like January or February, not in 2 years later. Get out. I'll probably forget about this, to be honest. Okay. Sonic diss track. Oh, this is the diss track we're doing? Do that live on the stream. Do you actually need to copy on diss track stream? I'm making my own, but I might need help with lyrics. Finally made a Discord account. Let's go! What's your Discord? I don't have time to listen to ads, bro. Oh wait, that's not. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
You think you can mess with me?
Yeah. Oh,
No.
yeah.
I'ma do my own.
I'm gonna do my own thing.
You really mad? I'm on my own.
Yeah!
When I'm done with you,
It's a banger!
eye patch. I just made your mommy scream in my house.
Skibbity toilet banger, bro.
Sorry that you look like a blue rat. I'm really sorry that Shadow is.
Woo!
I'm really sorry that you picked a human in the past.
This is a banger.
I put your arm in the cast. I beat you till you collapse. My double.
This is a banger.
You mess with the wrong.
You made me the wrong Sigma.
Some people have two tails. And some have two faces.
No.
W Sigma toilet song. Yeah. What's your Discord, gang? So yeah, isn't that what phones are for?
I put my effort
Waiting
in
for you.
I hold my breath till I turn blue, and you won't even get a clue.
I don't know what you want to be. I know that every side of me.
You make me sweet, you make me cruel. So what'll you choose? You know what to do. Cause what's the use if I don't have you? Baby, I'm a gem, so match the vibe. Don't leave me crying on the floor. Isn't that what boys are for? I'm an open book, so just
drop by.
don't be scared anymore. Isn't that what
Phones
boys
are
are for?
for.
I want my cake,
I
I'll eat
need
it
it
too.
too.
I'll jump through flames,
Thank
I'll
God
get to
you.
you. I'll build us high and I'll be true. And you'll be loyal by my side. You won't be weighing on my mind. Being this bomb I can't defuse. Am I destined to lose? Cause you'd lose too. There'd be no use if I don't have you. Baby, I'm a gem.
Anyways, chat, I'm hungry. I'm gonna go eat. But I will see you tomorrow! Actually, today.